So, I just wanted to start this out by saying this is going to be unprofessional. This is basically just an attempt to record my thoughts, um, sort of a journal, a diary, I guess. But just really wanted to put my thoughts out there and have a conversation. So, to start, I just wanted to talk about the idea of um, karma and uh, what that really means in today's society. I know that when karma is generally mentioned, usually it's referred to via its base definition in Hinduism and Buddhism, a lot of religious and spiritual undertones. And that's not at all what I'm trying to convey or push for in any manner. But my idea of karma is really just trying to live your life thinking about those around you. How really, when your life is taken into account in its sum total, the value of it is really determined by the impact that you have on others, the good that you do for others. As much as everyone has their own personal needs, um, I mean, we're all, they should call it, a slave to our physical needs, mental needs on a daily basis. Right? We have to think about ourselves in order to continue going on. But just being able to separate yourself from your own needs for just a moment and think about those around you. Not just your loved ones, obviously you want to take them into consideration, but everyone you meet. I think one great example is really just when you go to a restaurant and you have a server who, you don't know what they've been through that day or that week or throughout their life that's led them to that moment and that their mental condition at that moment. When, something goes wrong, um, and you end up taking it out on them, uh, you some people might belittle someone in that position, think that because they are spending money at that restaurant, um, and basically paying in a small part for that individual's wages, that they have the right and privilege to just treat them however they like. It's just it's a shame when you do something like that. I really don't think people take into consideration the thought that given a different progression of events in their life, they could be in that position, uh, and could be taking that abuse from other individuals. I just really think being able to look at things from another person's perspective, withholding judgment, um, and taking a calm, consistent, and caring perspective whenever you're dealing with other people in daily life is just really the way that everyone, I think, should try and live their life. It's not perfect. You're always going to have your off days, and that's understandable. But just making that effort to try and be a kind and nice person, and looking at things from another person's perspective, really just, it does so much. It means so much. I'd like to think that I try to do this, to live my life, lead by that example. But no one's perfect. Everyone's going to have their off days. It's understandable. It's just something I wanted to put out there. That just so many people seem to take for granted. And I know it's cliche. Everyone's referencing it nowadays, but especially in today's climate with what we're going through, that careless comment could have a larger impact than one would think on another person's life. So I just hope that everyone who watches this takes a moment just to consider that. I know it's probably something a lot of people have thought of, but I just figured I would put it out there in a video. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this, and that's fine one way or the other. It's just something for me to put out there, even if it's just to take a little bit of my own my own weight on my conscience and put it into a video and put it out there, at least for there to be an archive of it, and that's fine. That's mostly what I wanted to make sure to go over. Otherwise, just another topic, and this isn't a topic to touch on lightly, but I'd be remiss at least to not have a small portion of the video just dedicated to some discussion on it, is the extremely important topic and politically charged topic of the current climate regarding the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm never going to be an expert in terms of recounting how being a colored individual has affected your life. That's not something I'm going to try and empathize directly with. Obviously, I completely agree that we all deserve to be treated equally, to be given an opportunity to try to succeed and live our lives to the fullest. On a side note, I wish I had the drive, call it maybe spirit, to put forth the kind of effort and thoughts that those who have been going through this kind of racial discrimination have had to attempt to put out there in recent days, to try and energize a movement to see change in the world. But regardless, unequivocally, I support the goal of creating a better world where we aren't judged initially by or at all by the color of our skin, but by the content of our actions. That is unequivocally the world we should be striving for, not just for the individuals who go through this persecution currently and in our country and in our world's checkered past, but for society as a whole. Every time we discriminate just based on the color of someone's skin, not only that, millions of different factors that come into play when you judge someone and possibly push them aside and don't consider their perspective. And anytime that happens, you really lose the opportunity to enrich yourself with their perspective and their understanding. Each and every individual that has been born into this existence, into this world, has a unique perspective and some level of contribution. To relate this to an interesting topic I wanted to bring up was something called the butterfly effect. Most of you probably heard of it, but I think it's beyond its scientific implications. I think that it actually leads us into a very beautiful realization that no matter how successful or impactful, from a general perspective, you think your life is, even if you don't believe you've made any real impact or interaction on society, your life has had meaning just by existing. You change the world around you. I mean, if we look at it, take and extrapolate from the scientific analysis, that just by breathing, you're changing the world around you, and theoretically your change could be incalculable. The amount of impact you could have just by existing, walking through your life, continuing to live normally. You're impacting the world and how it's developing. I think that's just, I don't know, a wonderful thought to latch onto. So whenever you think you don't matter, your life really has no meaning, at the very least understand, just purely by existing, by taking a walk, going grocery shopping, making that person at the grocery store move slightly in a different direction when they're going about their daily shopping, that you've impacted the world and history as we know it. So don't ever think that your life has no meaning. There's always an impact, some level of change that you impart upon the world. Now, obviously, don't take that to say that you should never try to make a difference in the world. I need to honestly learn that lesson and try to put myself out there and make more of an impact on the world directly. But even if you don't, always consider the chats that you have with your family, the interactions that you have with any loved one, whatnot, your friends, and again, just those passersby that you meet daily. They matter. So just keep that in mind, and I hope maybe that just solidifies your will to continue. I mean, that's what I'd like it to do for me, honestly. So, beyond that, I just wanted to end it on a note of love. To always try to, in some small way, love those around you, care for those around you. Because if all of us can take the small moments, it doesn't have to be volunteering for charity or anything like that, just those small moments, easy, everyday interactions, to be nice and kind to the individuals around us. I truly believe that this world can be a better place for everyone, no matter the color of your skin, your religion. None of that should matter, save for that you are a person on this planet who matters. Thank you.